We are now 60 minutes away from go time.
This positioning so crucial in the light winds here, Todd. There's big disturbed air off those wings, so if you get yourself stuck and slow out the back early on here, you can be really out of position. It's all about trying to get the boat fast at that red start line when it turns white at 0.
95, yeah.
So the final 40 seconds here on the Hudson as the 12 international teams of SailGP are ready to go in Event 6. This is the Mubadala New York Sail Grand Prix, and everyone getting a little itchy, Stevie, to get to that start line.
Yeah, we've got a big bunch towards the favoured end, the uptide end of the line where the United States are sat at the moment, but the Rolex pole predictors out on the left-hand side of our screen on board the French. They've given themselves space to try and get it up and foiling. 16 seconds to go. It's going to be hard to accelerate if you're in the pack, but Quentin de la Pierre on board the French boat's got themselves foiling, but where's he going to fit the boat in? The Bonds Flying Rouge are struggling for a gap as well. Everyone's looking slow when the line's going to turn white.
Oh, Quentin de la Pierre had to bury the nose, Stevie, or he would have had a collision.
There was just nowhere to go through, but it's Diego Botín that's judged it right, and look at that, they're up and foiling on board the Spanish. They're going to roll over the top of the fleet and lead at Mark 1.
Yes. Enjoy, Joey. Little puff on. Nice warm breeze.
Really good acceleration from the Spanish there, Todd, because all the teams were right on the start line and they managed to pop the boat up on the foils super quick.
At mark number 1, race number 1, it is the Spanish, the winners of the last event in San Francisco. Get a little dip there, but Hannah there still out in the lead.
Yeah, they are, and it's so hard to sail the boat with just 3 people. Normally we have 6 people on board. They've been trying to keep everything really light, but those grinders are going to have to be working hard to allow the wing trimmer to keep the boat on the foils.
No, 2, 1. Turning.
Yeah, I think the trouble I have with the French strategy, there's 12 boats, the line is pretty busy, isn't it? And you're relying on a gap arriving, so you're effectively hoping a little bit, aren't you? You're hoping there's going to be a gap. If there's a gap, you look like a genius. And of course, we'll call it the best start ever. But I liked what the Spanish did. They controlled their positioning. So looking for boats, we can already see the French in the bottom right-hand corner of our screen there. They're leading back. They're trying to put themselves in that close to the start, but with just enough room to accelerate. I like where the USA are at the moment. I like where Emirates Great Britain are. Spain and New Zealand, left-hand side of our screen. Spain way out the back right now. The black foils might get a gap into the line here. We're watching for this line to turn red. It's going to be so tight. The Roos are coming in hot at the bottom. Slingsby's absolutely nailed it. Oh, that was a brilliant start by Tom Slingsby on the Bonds Flying Rouge there. What a start from them. They had a good first race, but they should lead at Mark 1 from here.
It's Australia, it's the Stars and Stripes, and it is Rockwell, Denmark going 3 wide as they approach mark number 1 here in New York City.
Crucial decisions now for these marks. If you're at the back of the pack, you've got to look to manoeuvre early and try and get yourself back in the race here. If you're on the outside of the wheel like Canada, like Switzerland, like Rockwell, Denmark, how do you pick your way back through the fleet when you turn onto the non-priority tack?
Quick turnaround as we are trying to beat a weather front that is scheduled to come through the New York City area here in a matter of time. So that's why we are rushing to get the 3 races in as we are under 90 seconds to go. So we take a deep breath, Hannah. The athletes get a very quick respite and just a little bit of hydration, especially for those teams that finished towards the back when the race was terminated.
Yeah, and you know, getting yourself in position to be able to line yourself up for this next pre-start isn't always easy when it's light winds, but the boats are up and foiling now, and they should be able to get themselves nicely in position for this next pre-start.
Onboard GBR there, our T-Mobile camera, and I think what's interesting is, like as you say, when they're getting handed the drinks bottles, they are racing. The coach and the rib crew will be well aware of where they're positioned there to fit the routine that, in the case of Emirates Great Britain, Dylan Fletcher and Hannah Mills will have laid out as the plan for the start. 40 seconds to go. Looks like there's a bit of weather coming in. Should be good for a bit of wind for a while here. It looks to me like Switzerland and the United States are late. They're very late back. Rockwell, Denmark well positioned. New Zealand well positioned. Lady Liberty, well, she's looking a bit damp right now. But the Bonds Flying Rouge are going to be struggling to get a good start from here as well. All the boats are a bit late in their routine here. Rolex Pro Predictor does sit on the Australians, but there's not an awful lot of wind where they are now. New Zealand, I think, are well positioned to have a good start here. 13 seconds to go. Favoured positions, middle of the line. All about timing from here. Watch out for the black foils. They're going to be able to wind it up. They're going to be able to get their timing right. How's he done it? Looking out for Peter Burling in the middle of the line. The line's gone white. We go, and it's a drag race between Rockwell, Denmark and the black foils towards Mark 1.
Looking backwards, what's my rudder?
Australia, France and Canada and Great Britain and Brazil are going to be way behind. They've got to make something magic happen at Mark 1 because at the moment they are way out the back.
Right, stay with the team. Here we go. Heaps of rain. Biggest video, guys.
Here we go, mark number 1 with heaps of rain. Rockwool, Denmark on the outside, and on the inside it's the Black Foils. The Kiwis had a terrible last race. They're looking to bounce back. Remember, they finished in second in race number 1.
Really far.
Just see if you get a good start. Well, let's see what happens in this race, of course. But the Kiwis are very well set up now. Denmark well positioned as well. They didn't have a great second race. I think consistency on a day like this is so hard. You can just see a slight misjudgment in the start and you're out the back of the pack, even if you're Tom Slingsby.
Denmark sitting on a 3rd and a 10th in the last race, so they're looking for a big bounce back here. And there you see the Kiwis out in front, Rockwool, Denmark in 2nd, the Swiss in the mix in 3rd. Of race number 4 here, just off of Governor's Island. Now, we will be without our helicopters for a time because of air traffic restrictions in the area, but we will still bring you some amazing coverage, both on the boat, on the water, and on the boat. So here we go as we get ready. Stevie, Hannah, this is going to be very interesting. We've got some great action out there. And again, Hannah, 12 boats in a very tight track.
A really tight track, and with the wind speed being up so much from yesterday, it's going to feel very different on board.
Under 60 seconds, and now the dance begins here on the Hudson as they get themselves into position into the start box.
Well, yeah, crucial times now, and we saw yesterday teams were struggling in this pre-start. So first race of the day, new wind, new course setup. It's always quite hard to get yourself lined up. Be interesting to see the team strategies. USA and Spain early to turn back should mean they've got a better judgment of their distance to the line, but will they be able to accelerate in? 33 seconds to go, and now the Black Foils towards the downwind end of the line. They look like they've got a good controlling position. They're going to be just watching out for Mubadala, Brazil, and Germany making a late charge in underneath them here. Defending move by the New Zealand crew. They try and block the Germans, and now they work their way up, squeezing the fleet above them. Rockwool, Denmark to the left of the screen. They've got space. How can they time it from that top end of the line, though? It's going to be hard. They'll have a fast angle to Mark 1. Won't be easy to control the Rockwool, Denmark boat with the foils there. Here go New Zealand. Here come Mubadala, Brazil. Now it's timing, and it's a drag race from here. Brilliant start by the Spanish. Great from Denmark as well, but they're going to struggle to keep those fast foils in the water on this reach to Mark 1. The Bond Flying Roos are flying too high there.
So as they approach mark number 1, this is fleet race number 4, and once again it is the Spanish showing everyone their tail lights.
Oh, Botín and crew, what a job they've done on that first leg there. Joel Rodriguez, the flight controller, hats off to him, handling that F50 at the speed. And look how quickly the first turn comes. There'll be less wind in under the fans here, and they're going to all look to manoeuvre away early. Spain in the lead, they control it. New Zealand are blocked. Oh, they're all getting blocked. Italy control the turn. Rockwool, Denmark, the British managed to find a way out there. It's so tight after Mark 1 as the teams try and avoid that light wind under the fans.
Yeah, that's right. Definitely some unforced errors from the Bonds Flying Roos over the last couple of races, but we've seen in some of the clips of the boat sailing, it's really hard to keep the boat stable. We've talked a lot about the flight controllers. They've got a really tough day today.
They've got a big day, and I think what's also interesting is a lot of the teams with maybe more horsepower in the grinding position, so the bigger units on pumping those handles are able to move the wing sail a lot quicker in and out. And every time the wind speed changes, you need to change the power in that wing sail. So I think the teams with the big grinders are going to have solid advantage today.
Well, you want parity, we've got it for you on Super Sunday here in New York City. We've had 4 fleet races so far this regatta. We've had 4 different winners. Spain, Bonds Flying Roos, Australia, New Zealand, and Brazil have all got wins, and now the battle is on in the last 2 races before the event final.
Yeah, and other than the Spanish, it's an absolute blanket, really, from France, New Zealand, Brazil, and Denmark are all within just 1 point of each other. Important to remember as the day progresses, any tie-break is broken by the result of the last race. Bit of a late manoeuvre in there by Brazil. They've got to try and keep clear now. They're going to be struggling for position here, but they're all about acceleration with 22 seconds to go. Is there a gap for Brazil towards the right-hand side of our screen? I'm not sure I see it, but Canada look a little early back. The right-hand side of screen, New Zealand, the Black Foils are up and foiling. The Flying Roos try and block Burling, but I think it might be too little too late. 9 seconds to go. It's going to be Australia and New Zealand at the bottom of the line. Spain at the top. Who's judged it right as the line goes white? Oh, Botín again out the gun like a bullet, but it's going to be the Black Foils on the inside that I think will be able to dominate from here and lead at Mark 1.
So New Zealand having the inside line as they approach mark number 1 here in race number 5. The winner gets 10 points and that much closer to the event final.
Oh, but Italy have sailed so fast. Oh, Tessie on the flight control. What a job the Italians have done there. Full absolute send by Red Bull Italy. Bit of a better turn away by New Zealand. New Zealand control the first decision. They should be able to manoeuvre away first. And now it's all about what happens back in the pack. Bond's flying roos. They're so high. And Italy again. Oh, the roos are up and jumping out the water. Massive error as the board dropped there. Got too high, splashed down. It's a full reset for the Bond's flying roos after that one. It's so toe tight, isn't it, Todd? And I think we've got to have to keep an eye on those points, Hannah, aren't we? I think we've got France, we've got Spain, we've got New Zealand, we've got Mubadala, Brazil. They're all in an absolute fight to get to that final.
Yeah, that's right. And we can see from what Nicole was saying just how hard it is to get around the course. You could be sailing the boat really well, but if you get locked on the outside, you have to go round the fleet, your race can change in just an instant.
And we're getting word now with 50 seconds to go before the start of race number 6 that Rockwell, Denmark are retiring. So not clear on what the situation is, but obviously they do not feel comfortable taking that boat out there. So what was 12 is now 11 teams fighting for those spots in TV. Stevie, I don't know if that really changes the dynamic much other than there'll be a little more room in the start box and at Mark 1.
Yeah, I don't think it'll change a lot. I mean, absolutely gutting for Rockwell, Denmark. I mean, it's probably better news that they didn't have a good last race. Otherwise, they might have been really disappointed. But we come back to the screen. Right-hand side of the screen, we've got Mubadala, Brazil. They're on a long run up here. New Zealand, middle of the pack. Spain up towards the top end of the line, looking for a fast angle. And France, De La Pierre's going to have to try and find his way through a gap. 10 seconds to go. It looks oh so tight in and around that start. Mubadala, Brazil could be a little bit late back to the line here for my liking. 4 seconds to go. Rolex pole predictor sits on New Zealand. Burling spins the boat towards Mark 1, and it's now a drag race. France are out the back. Spain are out the back. Brazil are out the back. This is going to be a battle from the back to get to the final.
2, 1. Will not get over them. At company. Can't get over Aussies or no? No, probably.
Oh, the black foils are well positioned on the inside here, Todd. It's an absolute drag race, but I think New Zealand will potentially lead unless the roos have just got the inside. They've just got an overlap. Slingsby gives a nudge to Burling. Burling keeps it safe, and it's going to be the boxing roos that get around first. They fly around, and they're going to be setting themselves up for gate 2.
So Peter Burling plays it smart and gives room to his arch rival, Tom Slingsby, on the inside, playing it safe, so the whole shot goes the way of the Bond's flying roos. They get the Rolex Sprint Leader Award on race number 6, and now they go to work.
Well, Lisa gave us the full coaching smorgasbord of cliches there, didn't she? And all of the ones that you can take on. Basically, as Pete said, this one's not going to be over till it's over.
For the non-sailors out there, Hannah Diamond, snakes and ladders, translate that.
Well, we've been seeing how hard the boats are to sail in these conditions, and the difference in the winds, in the gusts, the lulls is massive. So you can't rest on your laurels. You're going to have to make sure you're sailing the best strategy and as fast as you can around the course.
All right, here we go. It is the final dance in the start box. 30 seconds away from the event final here at the Mubadala New York Sail Grand Prix.
They're all fighting for this downwind end of the line there. Spain and New Zealand, it was tight. Fans are going to get a good view of this. Rolex pole predicts on France. They do have a little bit of space, but they're not foiling. The other 2 boats are up and running. Don't think it'll be hard to get on the foils, but it's going to be hard to judge the start. Spain control New Zealand at the moment. France have got their own bit of space. It is all about timing. Here come the French. They wind it up, but Quentin De La Pierre dives for the inside, but is he late? Line's going to go white. It looks like both teams got it right. What a start by the Spanish. France are out the back. Spain have control at the first mark, and they're going to lead the fleet away.
Vamos, guys. What do you want for Cardenita?
Look at the speed, nearly 67 kilometers an hour as they hit 70 now, as they hit mark number 1 at the event final. It will be the Spanish that have the lead, the defending champions from season 4 and winners of the last race. They are out in front, the black foils right behind, and France with some work to do.
Oh, we're on board Mark 1, but that was lovely work by the Spanish. They worked themselves up to give themselves a good exit to Mark 1. Textbook stuff, but they made a little error in the board drop there. New Zealand spin first. New Zealand will put disturbed air onto Spain and expect France to stretch slightly wide on the course.